what is CDS? And if you're in the state of Missouri and you're in the home care field, you've heard of this term. Hey guys, welcome back to Latoya Eleonora. So today I'm gonna go over what is CDS. And if you're in the state of Missouri and you're in the home care field, you've heard of this term. CDS is Consumer Directed Services. And I wrote some notes so I can go over everything in its whole fullness, per se. So Consumer Directed Services is a Medicaid-based program that provides personal care. This is a state plan or state waiver, meaning an individual must have Medicaid. Okay? Medicaid, not Medicare. Medicaid. Consumer Directed Services, or CDS, I may go back and forth when I'm referring to this program. It's a state-funded program. It's funded from or by three separate funding entities. One is Medicaid, which is Missouri Mo Health Net. The other is the Division of Health and Senior Services, which is sometimes referred to as DHSS. The other is the Division Senior and Disability Services. So those are the three funding sources of the program. And the program provides, like I said, personal care services to individuals with disabilities. It keeps them from going into a nursing facility or a facility. So to try to keep them as independent as possible, living in the comfort of their homes. I'm going to read directly from the site that kind of outlines, again, what this program is. And again, CDS is not your business. It's a program. It's a Medicaid-funded program. I just want to make that clear because some people think that CDS is your home care business. It's not necessarily your home care business. It's a program funded through Missouri Medicaid. Now, if the state of Missouri gives you the contract, you have that contract for 5 years and you're able to serve those individuals, like I said, who qualify for Medicaid. But it's not your business per se. And a lot of people think that CDS is the actual business when it's a contracted Medicaid funded program, not necessarily your business. Let me go over exactly the program. It says the CDS program is designed to assist people with disabilities with receiving the attendant services, living in their own home versus in a restricted institution. Services that the CDS program provides to that individual, which is sometimes they refer to as a participant or consumer. And these are elderly people or people with disabilities. So some of the services include bathing, grooming, dressing, toileting, transfer, range and motion, meal preparation, light housekeeping, errands, transportation. Some of those non-medical services that we talked about in the previous video. In order for a person to qualify, it says, for the CDS program, they must be eligible for Missouri Mo Health, which is Medicaid, be at least 18 years old, able to self-direct. If the person cannot self-direct, they will not be eligible for consumer-directed services. Be physically disabled, capable of living independently, and require at least nursing home level of care. That's just a minimum. If you do qualify for the program, let's just say you have your aunt. She falls in that category. She's Medicaid, disabled. She meets the qualifications, right? Initial assessment, you have to score at least a 24 or higher. It's about a 20 to 30 minute assessment, and they're asking all these various questions to make sure, again, that you meet nursing home level of care, but you still want to stay in your own home, okay? After that's done, someone from Division of Health and Senior Services will come out, do a face-to-face home visit to make sure, go over kind of like some of the same stuff you already went over with the phone assessment, okay? And able to see if you really can self-direct or was someone doing it for you over the phone. Once that's done and you do qualify to receive consumer-directed services, you become the employer and you hire your attendant. You're the employer, you hire your attendant. You will contact a vendor agency. The vendor agency only responsibility is to make sure that all of the policies and procedures are that you're being compliant. But you're technically the employer, not the agency that you decide to go with as your vendor. You have to have the ability to self-direct hire. If you want to hire, let's say, your granddaughter to be your personal care attendant, you're hiring that person. Each consumer, in order to get the services, well, once you qualify for the services, you get registered. Because you're hiring someone, you're assigned, or your vendor agency will help you apply for a federal EIN number, which is your federal identification number for taxes, because you're the employer, not the vendor agency, to be collected. And the vendor agency, because they get the funding, because I know you're like, okay, well, if I'm the employer, how am I paying? Because Missouri Mo Health, Medicaid, the state waiver, is paying the vendor agency through reimbursement, and the vendor agency pays your worker on your behalf, and they agree to pay the taxes as well. So again, the CDS is Consumer Directed Services, which is a Medicaid-based state waiver program. And you can find, let me go directly, you can find additional information about the CDS program on mo.gov/CDS. And it'll outline again, like basically what I just went over. So I hope this helps, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.